Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. In today's video, I will show you all the new cool transmogs and cosmetic items we will be able to get from the trading post and from other sources in patch 11.2. And as you will see, some of them are very nice. So first, let's start with some of the new Horseman and Hallow's Hand transmog items. We have a new full set from the Headless Horseman. And I think this one is actually really clean. As you can see, this is basically the same almost armor pieces that the boss that you kill during the Hallow's End event has. And so I think this is something that overall is really cool. And we're getting 4 of these different variants. So first there is the green one, then we have the burning one, which is orange and also red, and so this one is also a very nice version of this cosmetic set. Again, remember, these are all cosmetic items, so it means that you will be able to use them on any of your characters. Then we have this one right here, which is the white version, and I think the white version is probably one of my favorite ones. It looks really nice. It looks a little bit like the different Arati armors that we got recently, but this is basically the Headless Horseman version of this color scheme, so it will definitely go very well with some of the different RT weapons and everything that we got. So this is definitely a nice set. And finally, we also have this other one right here, which is the blue variant of this new Headless Horseman set. Just as a reminder, you will also be able to get the matching mounts. So as you can see, you will have these Headless Horseman mounts, which means that these will be flying mounts, and these are extremely cool as well. So if you enjoy these different transmog sets, you will be able to match them with their respective mounts, and normally these will become available also through the trading post, most likely in October as well. Then with the sets and the mounts, we of course also have a few weapons that you will be able to get. So first we have the one-handed sword, and here as you can see, this is a very nice sword. I think the details on the sword, the colors, everything looks pretty cool. We have a few colors for this new model, as you can see. And so all of them again will most likely become available at the same time through the trading post in October. Then we have the different shields, and here I think these look really awesome. So you have like all these pumpkin faces basically on the shield, and this is overall a pretty massive shield. So this is honestly a really awesome shield, and we don't get too many of these really cool shields in the game. So you have all the different colors available again, and this is something that I'm sure will go perfectly well with everything linked around this theme. And finally, we have the two-handed versions of the different swords. So again, here these are the exact same swords, they're just a little bit bigger, but still these are extremely nice. So then, not gonna go through each of them, but you have the different color variants for each of these different swords. So definitely, I'm very happy with the new Headless Horseman transmogs, and remember, these will most likely become available in October. After that, and this is very random, but we are getting some transmog sets and weapons that will match the different Deathcycles that we recently got in-game. So here as you can see, these are the different transmog sets, and they definitely match these different mounts. So here if you compare, for instance, this is the same skull, this is the same type of green animations and everything. And so these will match the different Deathcycle mounts. So we have normally one for each of the mounts plus the blue one, which indicates that most likely we are going to get a blue version of these different Deathcycles as well at some point. We also have the red one here, as you can see, which again, I mean, it looks exactly like the mount, which I think is really cool, especially if you're a big fan of these new Deathcycle mounts. And after that, we have this other version, which is the purple one. So these are definitely welcomed. I think these look super cool. I love the boots, and I love like all the different details on the set. And again, I just think it's very interesting that they decided to match these different sets to these different Deathcycle mounts. This is again very welcome. And with that, we are also getting a bunch of weapons that will match the mounts and the sets. So here first we have these different daggers, and as you can see, these are the different models with the different colors. So these are pretty nice as well, I would say. And you can see already that these will come from the trading posts. So normally all these different sets and all these different weapons will become available through the trading post. Then we have these one-handed swords, which are also very, very nice. And so that's what they will look like on a human, for instance. So these are also pretty massive. Then we have the purple version right here, amazing as well. Then we have the green version. Again, I think the colors are really cool. And of course, the fire orange version. We also have these different staves right here, which again, I think are pretty cool. And you can see there's always all the details of the mounts, and even the names are basically the same, Felreaver and everything. So I think this is pretty cool. Then we have the blue version, we have the purple version, and finally, we also have the red version. And this is what these different weapons will look like on a human, for instance. And finally, we have the different ones. And here, even though I know not a lot of people care about ones, I do think these are actually pretty cool. And yeah, these are pretty nice models for the ones. So again, most of them will be available through the training post. Probably some of them will also come from some different packages on the shop. I'm sure the blue version of the Deathcycle maybe will come from the shop, and some of the sets will come from the training post. We'll have to wait and see. But personally, I'm a big fan of these different Deathcycle and Hellfire sets. Then moving on to our other categories of sets that will again be available through the training post. And this time, these are these Bronzebeard Ceremonial sets. So I think these ones are also very, very, very nice. Especially, I mean, the shoulders with the crystals, the main headpiece, and the rest of the set. Everything looks so good. So especially if you're a big fan of Bronzebeard and of the dwarves, like just Transmogs and everything related to dwarves in general, I think you're going to be a big fan of this. And of course, that's what it will look like on a dwarf. So these are amazing, and these are things you will be able to use on any characters. So first we have this red version right here, the red and gold version. Then we have the blue and gold version with also a little bit of green, which I think is very nice as well. Then we have the full blue version. Again, I mean, the colors, everything. This one looks almost like Magni. I think this is super cool. And finally, we have this silver and orange version, which is pretty nice as well. So again, these different sets will come from the training post. We don't know exactly when, but maybe it will be at the same time as the Brewfest, because Brewfest is linked a little bit to the dwarves, and so maybe this is something we will be able to get during the same month. With these, we will also be able to get all these different weapons and also a few back pieces. So first, these are the different back pieces you will be able to get. Basically, you have this anvil on your back, which again, I think is a pretty fun thing. So these are the different colors that will match each of the different sets, as you can see right here. So then for the different weapons, we have a bunch of these different crossbows, but I'm not going to show all of them because these are actually pretty boring in my opinion. They have like the beak of the griffin and everything, but this is just not a very nice crossbow. We have these Ethereal-Themed items, so these are pretty cool. I like the fact that they're very shiny, which I think is very nice. Basically, you have these different gems on the Ethereal-Themed item. So these are the different versions right here. Then we have these one-handed maces. So these ones are very nice. As you can see, you have the skull of the dwarf, and you have like all the gems again. And so this is what it will look like, for instance, on a human. So not too big, but still a very nice weapon. So we have the different versions right here, as you can see. And after that, we also have these two-handed maces. And here, I mean, this is really cool, especially with the different effects. I think this is an amazing weapon. And this one is already a little bit bigger. Again, I think it's a little bit weird that the handle is here. I think it should be here. But this is overall a very, very cool weapon. And so we have, again, the 4 different tints. And each time you have the different effects on them. So these are the different weapons we will be able to get. After that, we also have a few new Brewfest Transmogs that will be available. So first, as you can see, we have these different barrels, headpieces, which I think are pretty fun. Basically, you will have really this top of a barrel that will be on top of your head. So we have also these different shoulders right here. So these ones are pretty boring. I mean, these are the normal ones that we can already get a lot through the trading post. We also have these different hats that I think are pretty nice. So as you can see, this is what they will look like. We also have more of the different shoulders. So again, these are just the different colors. And then we also have these different pants, which again, I think are pretty interesting. And after that, we just have a bunch of these different colors. As you can see, we have the green, the gray, and also the blue versions of these different items. So these are really all the different Brewfest items that you will be able to get during this new patch. Finally, after that, we have all the Ethereal-Themed Transmogs. So here, I already covered all of them in another video, so I would recommend you to go and watch this video if you are interested. I will just show you this version each time, which is one of the cosmetic version of all these new Ethereal's theme sets. So first we have the plate set. This is something that will be the same for all the different plate wearers. Then we have this one, which is the mail set. So again, these different sets are honestly pretty good, but I feel like they could be a little bit more Ethereal themed. After that, we have this one, which is the only one that is really Ethereal themed in my opinion. This is the cloth set, and this is a very, very cool set. And after that, we also have the leather one, which is this set right here. And we have tons of different colors for each of them. So with that, we do have quite a lot of different weapons that will become available. For instance, here you have this dagger, you have this other little dagger right here. You have this really cool gun. I think this is one of the coolest guns I've seen in a long time. Also some held in offhand weapons, more of these very small weapons. I think these ones are interesting, as you can see. Then there is this little one. We then have this axe, which is pretty cool. We have this other mace. We then have this one-handed mace as well. We have another little sword. This one just has like little animations here, but it's a very small one. Then we have this sword, which is pretty nice. We have this one, which is really cool. It's not linked to anything else, but this is a very nice weapon overall. And it's funny because this is a cosmetic item, but it has these different stats on it, which I'm not sure why, because this is again a cosmetic one. Then we have this shield right here. We have also this polearm. We have this over shield, this over polearm. Then we have this staff, which is pretty nice. We have this two-handed sword. And that's pretty much it. So then we have, of course, all the different weapons also from the raid. But again, I covered all of them in another video, so I would recommend you to go and have a look if you are interested. So that's pretty much it for today's video. I'm sure we will have even more things that will come up later on, and I will make sure to update you. But so far, I'm pretty happy with some of the new sets we will be able to get in this new patch. Let me know in the comments what you think about some of these, and if you're happy or not with, for instance, the new Headless Horseman one and the new Bronzebeard sets. I will be back very soon with more guides and more videos, and in the meantime, I wish you all a great day. Bye!